Senate candidate Judge Roy Moore is now leading in the polls. That's according to WT&S Consulting survey. 46% of likely voters will choose Moore as their next senator, with nearly 41% opting for Democrat challenger Doug Jones. Another poll from Raycom News Network shows Moore at 47%, Jones at 45%. The numbers come as the special election to fill Attorney General Jeff Sessions' former seat getting very close. One America's Tyler Smith caught up with Southern pastor and 2016 Trump surrogate Mark Burns for this exclusive interview.
That's right. I'm here with Pastor Mark Burns, who served as a surrogate to the 2016 Trump presidential campaign. And Pastor, I just want to thank you for joining us here on One America News.
Happy to be here.
Pastor, I just want to get your thoughts on this Alabama senatorial race. On one side, we have the Democratic candidate, Doug Jones, and on the other side, we have the Republican candidate, Judge Roy Moore, who is facing multiple accusations of sexual misconduct, all of which he has denied. What are the implications of this race to not only the voters of Alabama, but to the nation as a whole?
Well, you know, for me, it is clearly a strong signs of character assassination. I know personally the power of character assassination, having having a hit job done on me by CNN. Even though I shared with CNN what they were saying was not factual, they created a narrative to point and create the story that they wanted to create. So I personally know the power of character assassination, and for me, this looks just like character assassination. Again, we have no way to prove Roy Moore is innocent. We don't have a way to prove that he is guilty. So how do we know that Roy Moore is an upright person who deserves to be elected to the U.S. Senate? Well, you look at the 40-plus years of service, public service, that he has done, over 8 campaigns, over 2 national incidents that Roy Moore, situation that he was involved in, and yet there were no allegations, sexual misconduct allegations, to ever come out, only until he becomes the Republican nominee for U.S. Senate. And so for me, this is a grave attempt to stop the movement led by President Donald Trump to make America great again.
Now, President Trump, who initially had supported Luther Strange in the Alabama Senate race, recently went on the defensive of Moore, or on the defense for Moore, saying that the judge, quote, totally denies the allegations levied against him, and that we as Americans, quote, do not need a liberal Democrat in that seat. Now, do you agree with the president, and do you believe Judge Roy Moore at his word?
Well, I can only take Judge Roy Moore at his word based off of what his history has suggested. His history has suggested that he's an upright man. Not only that, the people that are the closest to him, that have long-lasting relationships, established relationships with Judge Roy Moore, who are standing beside him, even the pastors within the great state of Alabama, preachers and ministers that know Roy Moore, are standing behind him. Even the women of Alabama are standing behind Roy Moore. And so the great people of Alabama clearly see that this is an attempt by the established Republican Party and the liberal left Democrats to stop another person who is strongly for the helping the agenda of President Donald Trump. The great people of Alabama will send a strong message to the established GOP and to the liberal left that they cannot mess with the great state of Alabama. They cannot dictate who the people of Alabama wants to send to the U.S. Senate. So, yes, I agree with the president. I told Steve Bannon yesterday I was so happy to hear when the president came out to say what he said about Roy Moore. And he simply just repeated what Roy Moore has said from the beginning. He's denied the allegations, and we cannot have a liberal in the U.S. Senate.
Pastor Mark Burns, thank you very much for joining us on One America News.
Happy to be here, Tyler. Thank you.